So I got to do this. I'll say it this way, just so you know. At one time, I was a very passionate person and compassionate person, very emotional person, right? And I knew something wrong with being that way because it doesn't feel right as a man, particularly as a man, to be that way. And you do end up making all the wrong decisions. You feel sorry for people when you shouldn't be feeling sorry for them. Your kids take advantage of you because they can make you feel a certain way. They know how to play you and get what you want and make you feel sorry for them or feel emotional to them, you know. And you find yourself doing the wrong things for them. I remember when my son was a little kid and I was so emotional, he lived with me. He used to take advantage of me. I'm like, oh, you're so cute. Yeah, you can go. You can go. You can have it. And he got to a point where he just knew how to play me. But I was emotional connection to him, and I couldn't really say no at all time, or when I needed to say no. And so he learned how to just play me. And he always ended up getting what he wanted one way or another, right? And so I've been always emotional. But then, out of nowhere, I realized that I'm not that way anymore, you know. And I know it's because, as I've said over and over again, once you were born again, he started to renew your mind, right? You're being changed in the spirit in the same way, and you're growing in the same way that a child grows in the physical. And I realized, wow, I don't really feel anything about it. And like I think Victoria was saying, when someone said, my uncle died, you have to make yourself say, oh, what do you say? What do you say?
Sorry for your loss.
Yeah, sorry for your loss, right? And Satan be trying to make you say it. Sorry for your loss. Sorry for your loss. But now I know I don't have to say that. You know, I don't say it because I didn't know the person. I really don't feel anything. I remember thinking as a kid, when I hear people say, well, John Doe died down the road, right? And the people go, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I used to think, why are you so sorry? You don't even know the person. You know, it's amazing that in that fallen state like that, you just lie about everything. You really don't feel anything about it. Like some of these people I know now in the world out there, if they die, I could care less. I really could, but the world going to go, oh, I feel your compassion, right? But children of God are going to overcome compassion because that's a worldly thing. It's a female thing in a fallen state. It really is. And it does no one any good. I don't want you to make yourself become dispassionate. You will become that way because you're being renewed. That's why God said that we have to be born again and he will renew our mind. And I realized he said something like, faith is like a little mustard seed. It's like small, and it'll grow into something big, right? So the fact that you guys and ladies realize, I'm wrong for judging. I need to go and forgive. And when you forgave, you're showing faith in God. And you're learning not to believe the lie from Satan. Because when you don't believe any thoughts at all, you let them pass, you have faith. That's all left is faith in God. You either believe in Satan or you believe it's in God, right? In here. And so when you stay out your thoughts, you are believing in God and amazing things are happening. And he's renewing you in a way that when you'll be in the world but not of it. And, you know, Will, I really like Will, he's a nice guy. But all those scriptures you quote, that's not it. It's just intellectual knowledge. You know, it doesn't mean anything because you just know, you have the knowledge of good and evil. But you don't really know God, you just know about him. That's why you ask, well, how do you know you believe in God? Because I accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior. How'd you do that? Well, I did this and did that. It's not the way it is. And God, anyone cannot get into the kingdom. Only God can draw you in the kingdom, and he knows your heart, right? And he's not going to let Satan's children in the kingdom. And the kingdom is inside of us. He's not up here, but in here. He's not going to let you in. You got to overcome Satan. And then you'll find yourself, you'll realize one day, wow, that's why I'm able to answer people questions on the radio and on TV and when I talk to them in the world out there, because I'm not really feeling anything about it. I'm not trying not to feel anything, but I'm not feeling anything. Whereas before I would have been feeling something. And I thought that was the natural way. That's the wrong way. All right? And the world got you, oh, I'm just so passionate. What is your passion? I used to hear Oprah saying that to the people she interviewed. What is your passion? You don't want to be that way. You're better off being dispassionate, but don't make yourself become that way. And whatever talent you have, whatever your job is, you'll be much better at it than you would if you were a passionate person. And you would never be let down. You know, if someone don't like your project, fine. But if you're a passionate person and they don't like your project, you going down there with them. You know what I mean? But if they like it, you're still even key. Ego is not built up, but you're grateful that they like it. And you're not disappointed if they don't like it. And so when you are a dispassionate person, and you are becoming that way, when you have to help someone, you're going to be totally honest with them. Because as one of you guys said, it's pure love. And there is no feeling with it. And it just is. You know, it just is. And you're going to you just be represented, and God is working through you, and you'll represent love. And you'll be able to be honest with one another, and if the person get mad, it won't be a big deal. And if they are mad, I mean, if they don't get mad, no big deal. If they get mad, no big deal, because you realize what's driving them. You just see what's driving them. So you're very fortunate to be waking up. The world way is the wrong way. It really is. It's a fallen state way. And it's feminine in nature, but yet not. I do want to say that spirit that is destroying everything through the women, that's Satan's spirit. That's why the woman can overcome it. And she needs her earthly father or her husband, or she needs to start seeking for herself to overcome Satan's spirit. That's what's working through her to destroy. So you can overcome it. As some of you ladies are saying, you're overcoming it. But it's a spirit. And you will become dispassionate, but it's nothing like what you think that it is. You really can't look on Google and find a definition for this. It's not in the dictionary, because the definition in the dictionary is put there by a fallen state person, whether it's a preacher or non-Christian or whatever, right? They put it there based on how they feel. And in closing, I realized that Christianity is based on how people feel. They read the scriptures, and the scripture says, you should be this way or be that way or don't do this. And now they're trying to act it out because their mind tells them that this is what the Bible said, so now I got to act that way. For an example, the Bible says you must be born again, right? And it says, accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, right? But the Christians think that it means, okay, I read it, I heard it, and I believe it, now I'm saved. And yet they're sinning, they are lying, they're cheating, they're unhappy, they're depressed, they're jealous, they're envious, they have worries, they're sleeping together. They don't ever overcome that because they have just interpreted what Satan did, what they think it means. And then if you don't act like they think you should act because they built this Christian world, they always say you're not a Christian. If you're a person that don't sin, or if you're a person that's honest, or if you're not all into your emotions, they'll say, oh, you're not a Christian. Especially if you say you don't sin. That is the greatest deceit I ever heard that the devil can put on somebody. That you could believe, that you could be a son or a daughter of God and still sin. It looks like you have to be on pot to believe that. It's like you have to smoke the whole store down the road. You know what I'm saying? How would you even believe that? You could be born again of God and still sin. It just doesn't make sense, but Satan have convinced them of that. It's like you were saying, well, you could be like Jesus, but you can't be like Jesus. Jesus came to be an example so that we can be like him. He sacrificed so we can be like him. Once we're born again, he is our brother. And like the brother, God is our father, right? So you're going to be like the brother, a perfect love. No fear, no doubt, no worry. And when he said to the guys, throw the first stone, he that threw the first stone, he that without sin, let him. He was just reminding them, y'all don't have any right to judge this woman because y'all are sinners too. So how are you going to judge that person, right? That's all that was about. It wasn't about compassion and all that crap that the liberals are trying to tell you. Jesus was a dispassionate person. He was not a passionate person at all. Passion is of the world. And you'll see it for yourself. So let's let it go in one ear and out the other. And just watch. And when you see passionate people, you can say, beta, beta female. And then you get the message. Whenever I'm riding down the road, yesterday I was riding down the road, I saw a couple cars, the men were sitting in the woman's seat, and the woman was driving. I found myself there yelling out, beta. It just looked beta. Beta. The little woman driving and the guy sitting all in the car. I thought one of them heard me because the car stopped at the same time, and I looked over and I said, beta. But anyway, relax. You're growing in the spirit. And you can't do anything about it. He's doing it for you. If he wasn't doing it, you wouldn't be able to see. You would not be able to see what you see. All right, that makes sense. You don't want to be compassionate. Don't ever let Oprah tell you to be compassionate. And men, don't ever use that word again. I hear a lot of men talking about, I'm passionate. I'm like, what the? So do the silent prayer. Speak up. Don't resent, and it's working itself out. You're being renewed, you've been changed. Everything is changing for the good. All right? Dispassionate is the way to go. But don't make yourself be like that because you become cold. If you try to make yourself be dispassionate, you're going to seem mean and cold, and you're going to turn people off that way too. So don't try to learn to be dispassionate. You hear that, Nick?
I changed my answer.
Oh, and the last thing real fast about going both ways, you can't be both. You're either compassionate or dispassionate. You can't ride two horses. You can't serve Satan and God. You can only serve one master. That's why I asked about going both ways. Because I thought that would be a hint for you that you can't be both. Compassion is of the world, which is of Satan. Dispassion is of God. You can't go in and out of it. That makes sense?